Hello, 8th graders. Today we're going to be taking notes on solving linear systems by graphing, just like we did last week where you have two equations, you graph them. But today I'm going to introduce you to two special cases that could happen. The first one would be no solution, and that is if the two lines that you graph, if they are parallel. If they're parallel, they will never ever cross. So obviously then, if they never ever cross, there's no solution. So for that, instead of writing an ordered pair like we did last week, you would put the two lines on the graph, show that they're parallel, and then write no solution next to it on the graph somewhere. The other special case today is if there will be infinitely many solutions. And that's if your two equations make the exact same line. So obviously they're never going to intersect because they are the same line. So it's obviously that they are going to intersect at every single point along the line, and therefore you would do your graph and you would only have one line on your graph, but then off to the side your answer would be infinitely many. It's not going to be an ordered pair because there's no place that those two lines cross. They're the same line. All right, let's practice. Number one. In this situation, we have our two equations, y equals a negative x minus 5, and y equals a negative x plus 7. Now, when you look at these two equations, what do we notice about them? We know that their slopes are identical. What is their slope? A negative 1. A negative 1 over here, your assumed 1, a negative 1. All right, so now these two equations are not identical, all right, so they are not the same line. However, they have the same slope. Let's see what happens. Now, this one, let's do this one first. They're the same line, and our b, our y-intercept, is a negative 5. All right, this is where we begin on the b, on the y-axis at the negative 5. So let's go down here, put your point at the negative 5. Okay, we're done with the b. That's where we began. Now we go to the slope, our pattern. What is our pattern? It's a negative 1. Well, to turn it into a fraction, put it over a 1. All right, so that means I'm going to go right 1, a negative 1, down 1. So from here, let's go right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1. And then let's go back to our negative 5 and go backwards. Left 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, and so on. The more dots you have, the better. Makes it easier for you to draw your lines, and it's easier to see where they will intersect if they intersect. Now, we're done with that one. Let's pick a different color. Let's go with green. All right, now where do I begin? My beginning is a positive 7. So let's start at the positive 7 on the y-axis. Okay, I'm done with my beginning. Now what's my pattern? Same as the other one, a negative 1 over 1. So I'm going to go right 1, down 1 again. Right 1, down 1. Right 1, down 1. You can see by my dots that these lines are going to be parallel. So I'm going to draw my line the best that I can, and if you have a stylus, that helps a lot. If not, no biggie, but a stylus does help. And on draw, I do love the back button, so if I totally mess up, I hit my back button. Yay, I can just try it again. And there, I did a pretty good job showing that those are parallel. Now I'm not 100% done. There's no ordered pair here because they do not cross. But for this graph, then you'd have to write off to the side, no solution. There is no solution because they do not cross and they never will cross. Number 2. Now I look at these. What do I have here? My y equals 1.5x minus 3. So what is my b? Where do I begin? The minus 3. What is my slope? 1.5. 1.5. Well, I can't graph that. That doesn't tell me of my left 1, down 1, up 3. We don't know. So I need to turn that into a fraction. That's the same as 1.5 is the same as 1.5, right? And then 1.5 equals, well, 2 times 1 is 3. Or excuse me, 2 times 1 is 1, plus 1 is 3. So that's the same as 3 over 2. So our slope is 3 over 2. Now I know I would go right to up 3 for my pattern, right? So let's go down and graph that one. -3 is where I begin. So make this like that. All right, -3. Down here is where I begin. So I'm done with that. And now my pattern, right 2, up 3. Right 2, up 3. 1, 2, 3. Right 2, up 3. Right 2, up 3. Again, I like to add more than probably needed because it makes it so much easier on here to do the lines. All right, right or backwards, left 2, down 3, left 2, and down 3. Make my line. Now, good. Let's pick another color. Let's pick blue. Now let's do this equation. What is my beginning? Where do I begin? My y-intercept is a -3. What is my slope? 6 over 4. True, it is 6 over 4, but can I simplify that? What is 6 over 4? I could go right 4 and up 6, all right? Like if I was at the -3 on the blue, I could go right 4 all the way to the 4, up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, look right here, I am already there. Go right 4, up 6, right 4, up 6. Well, look at that. That tells me it is the exact same line, all right? Now, if I would have simplified that, what is 6 over 4? Divide by 2, I would have gotten 3 over 4 divided by 2 is 2. Simplify that, I get 3 over 2, which is the same here. So our slopes are identical, our y-intercepts are identical. This is the same line. So to be completely finished, you would write infinitely many solutions. All right, so that one is done. One line on the graph, infinitely many solutions, because they are the same line. All right, one more to graph. Let's practice this one. Right here, what is my b? Where do I begin? Oops, at the 2. And what is my pattern? My slope is 1/2. All right, so that tells me I'm going to begin at the +2. Put a point here. All right, I'm done with my b. I started at the 2. Now my pattern, +2 is right 2, +1, up 1. So from here, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1. Or if you're liking to do y first, the run, or the rise instead of the run, you can go up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. You still end up at the same spot. Go backwards, left 2, down 1, left 2, down 1, left 2, down 1. Make your beautiful line. All right, now let's do the next one. Let's pick whatever color that is. Actually, let's just for fun. What is this? All right, so I know my b. Where do I begin? A -2. Hey, that's kind of funky cool. All right, and then what is my slope? My assumed 1. I have a 1 right here, which is my pattern is a 1 then over 1. What would be right 1, up 1. So start at, where do we begin? The -2. Right there. I'm done with my y-intercept. My pattern, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1. 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. Yay! Oh, this is just like the one, right 1, up 1, right 1. This is just like the one, or left 1, down 1. This is like the ones we did last week. Now make your line. Hey, that one's kind of fun. I like that color. Now, I wouldn't write infinitely many solutions because they are not the same line. I would not write no solution because they are not parallel. This has one solution, and the answer needs to be written as an ordered pair. Where do these two lines intersect? At the 8 and the 6. 8 and 6. That is the answer to that graph. All right. So just a recap, if it has one solution, you have to have your answer as an ordered pair. All right, and the lines will cross. The ordered pair is where they intersect. Your X and your Y, you would tell me what those numbers are on your graph. No solution, that means your lines are going to run parallel. And then you would have to write no solution on your graph. Infinitely many, that means you're just going to have one line. It is the same line. And then on the graph, you would write infinitely many solutions. That's it for today. I hope you watched this all the way to the end. If you did, I thank you so very much. Now you are off to start your worksheet. All right, make sure you put all of your work, all of your graphs, and all of your answers. Thank you. Have a good day.